park it somewhere over near 13 where you pick me up?
Yeah, that's
I enjoyed that though. I think you're doing well. I think
appreciate it.
I think you're right to be a little bit concerned, but you're going to be surprised how quickly you work up to it and are very comfortable. Because your skills are good. I mean, your corrections are good. You're going to have to be a little bit quicker when you start feeling that tail go out. But one of the reasons it's a little bit ambiguous in your mind is, like I say, you don't really have it when it's happening to you. It's often not really loaded up all the way.
Mm-hmm.
So your gas and your brake pedal and your what I call the butt dyno, you know, when your butt senses that slip angle in the back out, you know, becoming greater than the slip angle in the front, you just have to pick up with that a little bit more quickly.
Okay.
And practice will get you there.
So the correction is that necessarily gas or steering?
Well, and that's where this is where it's an art form, right? It depends. So in general, what you have to remember is, you know, the classic racing books, I don't know if you've read any of that stuff, but, you know, the more weight you are able to transfer to one end of the car or the other, the more grip that end of the car is going to have, okay? And so, you know, the rhythm you want, you know, you want, as you, let's say it's classic 90-degree corner, you want to come in and have the front fully planted on the brakes, which you're using the brakes fine. And then, you know, as you start turning in, you're trail braking a little bit, but you're easing out of the brakes as you begin to approach the apex. And by the apex, you're not easing onto the gas and using, you know, transferring weight to the rear. Now, what's happening sometimes is you're coming in overloaded on the front and carrying that too far into your turn in. So the tail's too light when you turn in.
So I'm either braking too late.
Braking too late.
Braking too hard.
Exactly. That's what I said. With a tail happy car, you move your braking zone a little bit earlier in the rhythm of the corner. Okay. So when you come in on this car, you know, in your Volkswagen, no problem. I mean, you want it. There's nothing going on in the rear.
You grab speed.
That's right. You want it to do that. In this car, if you come in really light in the back, it's not going to have that grip, and you're going to start rotating the car faster than you planned on. So, and the cure for that is a little bit quicker correction, but not probably faster and less correction with the wheel, and also a smooth, you know, a little more throttle. Not stab it, but just a little bit more smooth. So if you get it yawing in like that, you know, you're coming in like that on the brakes, a little bit earlier in the, you know, you need to feel that tail coming out a little bit earlier and correct it, you know, just slightly. And this is why I think drifting around autocross would be the way to do that. And don't just drift on the gas. You want to come in hard on the brakes and just try and work this car hard all the way around. But so, you know, the fix, what we were doing a couple times, we'd come in brake late, we'd get the tail coming out pretty far. We're a little slow to correct with the wheel, and maybe a little slow and a little abrupt on the gas. And so that's why we got into that. That's why we got into the traction control. And so just a little earlier, just be sensitive to it. Pick it up a little bit quicker. You don't need to jerk the wheel, you know, super hard. You want to overdo it. Just as you feel the rear coming around, you feel that front slip angle going down, you just kind of steer out a little bit and ease into that gas and plant things. Now, where it gets hairy, some of those high-speed corners, you know, the car's so neutral. If you're dead center of the gas pedal, you know, you're basically coasting on the gas. We're still working the car fairly hard cornering, but one end or the other is not loaded up because the throttle pedal is neutral. And so when you feel it start to yaw like that, you don't have that tail end loaded up. So at that point, even if you get on or off the gas, whatever happens, the car has to, if you get on the gas, the car has to soak it up and plant that tire before it can really react. And so that whole time while the body's rolling down and press, you're getting further out, right? So you're just going to have to be, again, the answer is gentle and feel it earlier and make smaller corrections. And so in the big corners, like, you know, coming off the hill on the top and going into the S's, you know, going into the bridge, we got a little hairy there. It's kind of scary because it's a fast ass corner. And what we did there to make it a little bit uncomfortable, I was never worried, but we were a little hairy there. So what you do there is you coming down the hill, you know, you on the gas down the hill. Well, you came in real hot and then lifted out kind of like in the middle of that turn. And that's why we started getting a little iffy. So in a car like this, you're better off coming down that hill. Like I say, move that braking zone a little bit earlier in the rhythm of the corner ease out of it early, and then just slowly, as you feel the front and rear spring on the outside of the corner start to set, just plant that, just easily, just ease into that throttle, and you can just feel it squat, and it'll start, as it squats, it'll be pulling weight off the front tire, and you'll feel that front starting to push a little bit. It's still gripping, you're still getting good grip, but now you've stabilized the whole car. And then a minor adjustment in or out of the gas can change not only your line, but also the attitude, and it'll become second nature. So that's what it's doing. You're used to driving a car that basically you kind of have to trick into turning in, and it's never going to get sideways on the gas.
Right.
So this car is a beautiful handling car. You're going to love it.
I already do. It's just like I said, I just need to be more comfortable.
Yeah, and you'll work up to it. So what I would say to do, I mean, like I say, from a like a chin group perspective, and we have a lot to focus on here, but you got to be more comfortable with the passing and pointing by earlier. So I'm willing to recommend that you pass, but as far as the group goes, but you definitely are going to have to be.
Like I see them coming. Well, I guess I really don't have an excuse. I mean, I see them coming. I'm like, let me get past this corner.
Yeah, and that's not what they want. I mean, they want you to be completely comfortable, even in the middle of the corners. Yeah, just to be able to point anywhere, and that's a lot to do, right? I mean, you're already trying to work both ends of this car. It's all new, or you got the lines, new track. I mean, there's a lot to focus on, but that's one of the reasons why they have the checkout ride, to make sure you're capable of doing that. And I think you are. A couple times we did it, but just be aware that they want to.
So it's like instant pass as soon as they show up.
Yeah, pretty much.
I did. That's not a problem. It's just I thought wait till the straights and then. But I understand that.
Yeah, no, they specifically want you here. I mean, some clubs are like that. Some clubs don't want you to pass except in the straights. Chin wants you to be able to be comfortable, 3 wide if you're going into a corner.
I mean, I don't think that's not a big problem.
Yeah, I didn't sense that it would be, or I wouldn't pass you.
Okay.
But so that's what I would say. Long term, I'd go find a parking lot, go drift the hell out of this thing and get to where you're completely comfortable doing it, and you can feel, your brain and your butt can feel when the car is fully loaded and when it's not. Because as the faster speeds go up and you get out on track, you don't want to be uncomfortable in a big sweeper, getting the tail out. So, and again, the bigger the radius of turn, the smoother you have to be. And but either way, no matter what the radius of turn, your reaction should still be as quick.
Sure.
It just has to be a little smoother and more gentle in a big turn. So I think you're on the way. I mean, you got any questions?
No. I mean, are you going to be available later?
I should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come look for you.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate it.
No problem. I enjoyed it.
Well, thanks. I didn't kill you.
No, you did not kill me. That is a prerequisite for my instruction. I will say, back in the day when I was a kid, I instructed a lot. And back then, nobody had ABS or active handling or anything, and there was some pretty ill handling cars. I'm lucky to be alive.
Like I said, I'm driving with traction. I'm not.
Yeah, well, you should be at this point because you're not comfortable yet.
Yeah.
But your instincts are good. I mean, the times you did get it sideways, you corrected. You just need to be a little quicker and understand how to work the gas a little bit better. It just takes a little practice.
Yeah.
So, good stuff.
Thanks.
All right. Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm a little dehydrated myself. Okay.
Thank you.
horsepower. Are they Porsche seats?
Huh?
Are they Porsche sport seats?
They didn't come with the car. I bought those in the aftermarket.
Nice setup.
They came off of
On the blue group, we could take it out. I can show you around. Oh, okay. Oh, you're going up. Oh, okay. Giro discs.
Yeah,
like
they're all
mine.
Giro discs.
For the Giro discs, that's what I got on mine. That's my stage. Where are you braking? What point? How many yards from the end? Every time you wanna try further, know where you are with there's a 300, 200, 100, maybe the 250. Same size as mine. Yeah, the Giro disc is a good disc. And then you can use the stock calipers. That's a well set up car.
Oh yeah, I'm very happy with it. It's just, you know.
We did the work.